Hi, Redeemer. Welcome to this week's FAQ. This is part 3 in a series of What Does Donovan Do All Week? Some of you may have a really good idea of what pastors do day to day, and some of you may not, because a lot of what we do may not be highly visible. So I've been working through my job description. I'm glad to email this to you if you like. I talked about vision and leadership development. We'll talk about teaching today. So it says, initiate and set the tone in the teaching ministry of the church, including but not limited to providing the majority of the pulpit ministry, establishing theological roots, distinctives, and multiplication, and developing other teachers. So there's a lot more to the teaching ministry than just the pulpit, but that's the most visible, dominant one. So we also see teaching in Redeemer 101 or Global 101 or in groups and things like that. But let me just focus right now on the pulpit ministry. I am the primary preacher. Right now I preach, I think, 40 weeks a year, right? So there's 12 weeks a year, once a month or so that someone else preaches. So with both campuses, that's 24, other slots that other people preach. When I first started, I preached, I think, 50 sermons a year. I had vacation and I got someone else in there. And that has shifted over time after I've had the opportunity for several years to really is initiate and set the tone and establish theological roots, distinctives, and multiplication. So to spend several years really being the primary preacher sets a culture of what are the doctrinal distinctives we're going to embrace. Obviously teaching the Bible, but also we do have doctrinal distinctives and things that we believe are a foundation of joy in glorifying God. Things like Calvinism, Christian hedonism, Christocentricity, all these kind of things that because I spent several years doing that, it starts to set the tone and model for others kind of what's expected and where we're headed, and also gospel-centeredness and gravity and gladness and all these things. So over the course of several years, I've had the opportunity to develop and give the opportunity to other preachers, some of whom have come with more training and experience, and some of them who've come with little experience. And like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, after Brett preached, I'm just really thankful, for the quality and passion of preachers, the preaching team that God has built at Redeemer. And Dirk was another example of that this past Sunday. Just unbelievable, really thankful. And some of that has been, my setting the tone and coaching. I do provide coaching when I'm not preaching. I talk to these guys about what they're doing, and I review their sermons with them, and I preview their sermons with them. And but a lot of that has nothing to do with me, and it's just what God has built at Redeemer and called these men to do. And so again, it goes beyond that, beyond pulpit ministry, but I've only got 3 minutes here. But real quickly, I'll just sum that up. That trickles down, that tone you set at the central visible teaching point of the ministry, the pulpit, trickles down into how the teaching tone and teaching distinctives in Redeemer 101 and Global 101 and groups training, in groups, the types of books we read, the types of questions we ask and things like that. So I could talk about that a lot longer, but we'll just leave it at that for now. So there it is. Next week, part 4. See ya.